Hi, this is Nitya with Nitya Living, and we are coming into the month of the snake, May 2022. So we have been on a magical, mystical ride of the month of April in the month of the dragon. The dragon is also our leaders and leadership, and looking at, what's been going on with the leaders of our world. And that really has been highlighted this month. So as we tip into May, this is one of the months that I cautioned us all about because a punishment is formed with the monkey, the snake, and our year of the tiger. Now, the most impactful is the tiger and the snake. But if you happen to also have a monkey in your chart, if you happen to have this configuration of tiger, snake, monkey in your chart, or some variation of it, as long as you've got two of those three animals, this month of the snake in the year of the tiger, it's just a lot of aggravation. It's kind of like somebody that's in a bad mood and then you come in or something happens to just inflame the situation, okay? Like pouring salt on a wound, okay? So that being said, May 5th, which is next Thursday, I think it is. It's amazing how time is flying by these days. So we're shifting into this snake, and the snake punishment with the tiger and the monkey really targets the issues around law, around lawsuits, around being sued or being served papers. If this punishment lands in your chart, if this lands in the chart of any of our leaders or any of our countries, depending on their astrology, so there's this added volatility in our world in the month of May, like we need any more. I mean, if you look at non-traditional news outlets, like Al Jazeera is one that I look at, one that's not brought to you by ... then you're going to see, it's amazing how many countries around our world are in conflict, in which leaders are being usurped, in which elections are being highly contested, or just really an intense time worldwide. I mean, we have to kind of really lift our heads up and look globally beyond our own world of the United States to really see, wow, there is a lot going on, a lot of movement. So that being said, this is a volatile year. And in this volatility, the month of the snake in May just ramps it up, aggravates the situation. Now, with lawsuits and anything legal, there's also loss of income. There's loss of money. You're looking at humongous inflation right now, a crazy housing market, a very difficult time for people to pay their rent, pay their bills. I know I filled my gas tank up. It cost me $20 more than it did a year ago. So, that's a lot of money for some families. And that's certainly being felt. The snake also in this punishment with the tiger brings more accidents, more mistakes, not looking where you're going. A world that's not practicing mindfulness, that's for sure. But it is a call to be more mindful. It's a real call to be more mindful. It's a real call to look at relationships. and contentious relationships especially. How do you bring accord into your life? See, that's the thing about astrology. We're not just sitting here victims saying, oh, well, here's the lay of the land. Let's all sit back and suffer for it. No. The whole point, for me anyway, of knowing astrology is to know, wow, if this is an awesome month, take advantage. But if you're looking at loss of income, do you think this is a good time to buy a house? I really want to buy a house. It's so frustrating that all my life I've wanted to buy a house. I could finally buy one, and this is the worst time to do it. It's a terrible time to move. It is a terrible time for investing in anything. Anything. Okay. And if you've got legal stuff going on, anything you can postpone is to your advantage until at least mid-June. And in the western sky, May 10th, and we're already in the shadow, Mercury goes retrograde, fouling up everything in electronics and scheduling and travel and stuff like that. I mean, this month, when you couple Eastern and Western astrology, because this is also in the Western sky eclipse season, it is, we aren't meant to go full steam, day in, day out, as if there isn't a rhythm. There's a rhythm to life. And astrology, whether you're looking at Western or Eastern, is there to illuminate the path before us so that we can modify ourselves and adjust our lives accordingly. So in this contentious year where I'm already saying, hey, pay attention. In your own life, in your own work, if things are looking funky, pull back. If things are looking great, move with it. But don't move like with wild abandon. Move with caution, awareness, still looking around. Not like paranoid, but just paying more attention. Don't just assume that because things are going well that they're going to continue to. That's what I'm saying. Pay attention to anything. It's kind of like when you're growing a plant. You want to pay attention to all the little leaves. Does it look healthy? Are you watering it enough? Are you taking good care of it? But at the same time, even if that plant is flourishing, pay attention to invasive weeds or bugs or whatever that could show up when you least expect it, and everything changes. Oh no. That's this month of May. Okay? So, the snake. What is the snake's personality? She's lovely, or he's lovely, or they're lovely. The snake at its worst, calculating, vengeful, jealous, possessive, and paranoid. I think I already said paranoid once. It's easy to be paranoid, I think, in our world today. Because, divisiveness, the tighter you push yourself, allow yourself to go into a corner and stand there with your dukes up. Yeah, this is what I believe, and it's it. This is it. This is what you have to believe to be in my corner. Until you realize that you've got yourself so pinned into that corner, you've really isolated yourself from the rest of life. And people can't relate to you anymore. And you push yourself far enough, walls start to crack. It's, pay attention to what you think the truth is supposed to be. Okay? So that whole thing with paranoia, that's something to kind of keep an eye on. The best traits of the snake, they're really great at accord and negotiation. Things could change. Things could ease up in our world. Pay attention to real news. Look for real news outlets. Which is tricky. I know it's tricky. The snake is also our soothsayer, our crystal ball gazer, our psychic. Snake people are so intuitive, so serene. They slink in and out of a room, barely noticed, but very felt. Okay. And they really do. They are intuitive and they operate behind the scenes. And again, if you have this configuration in your chart of tiger and snake, and add to that mix a monkey, it would be awesome if you also happen to have a pig in there to soothe all the rough waters. But the pig is, like for instance, if that configuration is in your chart and your partner is born on the day of the pig or the year of the pig, they are your lucky charm for this year. Isn't that cool? So the pig is your lucky talisman, and you can go online. Feng Shui Mall is one. Try to find some other places than Amazon. I mean, I know it's the go-to for everything, but try to find some of the other places to shop. And these talismans are cheap. They're like less than 20 bucks. And it's like a little feng shui cure for the year of the tiger. And that it should say that. We're not just talking about any pig figurine. It needs to be a specific thing. Keep it with you when you're driving, traveling, and certainly when you're sleeping. Okay. So, I've said all of this. Let's take a quick journey through your home. The 5 stars in the center, and remembering that the center is considered a lockbox. Okay. Now, in modern times, we've busted all the walls down, which is really not one of my favorite things because we wind up living in a fishbowl. And I say this every month. It's a matter of time before we wind up putting walls back up. I mean, really. It's louder in a house with the walls down. It's just, it's not my favorite. Anyway, so if you have an open concept, everything is flying around, and it's harder for you to really work with the energies in a way that you can contain them without having somebody like me, a feng shui consultant, zoom into your home or come to your home and assess the real situation. But that being said, in a typical home, traditional home, you've got this locked area, which is great. For me, I've closed off a door so that I'm not using that door. I'm not energizing that area. I've kept the room dark, which is easy to do because it's got wood paneling. So the center area of my home, I have hung Tibetan tankas, and I have a string of 6 Chinese coins lengthwise behind one of the tankas. So the thing you want in the center of your home are blessing symbols that are metal in nature, that are maybe chiming like a clock. It could be where your doorbell is. But you want to keep it dark, you want to keep it calm, and you do not want any disruptions, no banging doors. And the month of May, the 8 star flies in. The 8 star is also an earth star, like the 5 star of destruction and all things terrible happening. And the 8 star is money luck. And it really usurps everything because right now the 8 star is powerful. So I'm calling this month the center to be depressed and slightly encouraged. Almost like the waters calm down in the center of our homes and offices and businesses for just this month, which is helpful given all, again, the volatility in our world. So again, the center, metal, 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 metal. Don't go overboard. Balance is key always, but think the colors of gray, white, black, and metal objects, especially ones that are round, like a singing bowl or a dog bowl. You definitely don't want any family photos there. Anything having to do with you personally. All right, so then we come around to the northeast. The northeast is visited by the 2-star. Both of these are Earth stars, so they are both kind of at home here. And the 2-star is their typical home, which is where it is for 2022, is in the southwest. So in some ways, the 2-star is like the mama coming into daddy's nest. Oh, ho, here she comes, big mama bear. And so the 2-star, it brings sickness and misfortune. And so we want to be cautious here that even as the 8-star brings us wealth, that we want to be really cautious, because for much of 2022, we're adding fire to nourish the 8-star here and to encourage the energy. But we don't want to do that with the 2-star of sickness. So the best thing to do is to instead add metal to drain the 2-star, and in so doing actually motivates the 8-star to be more active. Okay, so we're shifting gears. So if you have already got stuff in place in the northeast that's fiery in nature, remove it for this month and replace it with metal. Alrighty, so we're calling the northeast an area to neutralize. Moving into the east, we have the 3-star, and the 3-star needs, this is another area that, we really want to depress. The 3-star is arguments and disagreements and a lot of disharmony. And the 6-star is metal and wood of the east, excuse me, don't get along at all. So for 2022, typically we would say that red is the color, because red depresses the woody 3. And we don't want to do that for this month, because that will just aggravate an already conflicted area with the 6-star visiting. So since the 6-star is metal and the 3-star is wood, we mitigate it with the element that's between them, which is water. So I've suggested that in the east that you add some turquoise, teal, blue colors, maybe like pillows, throw rugs, towels, things like that. And the one cure that I would keep throughout the year is a red happy hoodie for the 3-star. Neutralizing the 4-star in the southeast, which is our supercharged peach blossom of romance. What a beautiful energy in the southeast this year. But the 7-star flies in, and this is a real reminder that yeah, the 7-star really is a hiccup. It's like, is this going to bring in like lawsuits? And because there's romance, this makes me think of breakups, of divorce. This makes me think that if the 4-star is about creative projects and artistic endeavors, that the 7-star could mean that somebody is gossiping or stealing your intellectual property. It could also be that because the 4-star is also about education and doing well in your studies and academics, that it could also suggest backstabbing and loyalty issues with people. So it's yeah, challenging to be sure. And, you know, with that being said, I would keep the 4 stalks of lucky bamboo in a blue vase. That is our ongoing 2022 cure for the Southeast. And I would possibly still keep your love altar up. And all of this is on the Knit You Living blog. Okay. And I'm like, as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, I don't know. I would say that if you are in a relationship that is not strong and stable, I would remove a love altar, because this is the kind of month that could tip things over. Okay, so the 9 star is at home in the south. You remember all the flying stars for 2022 are in their home location. So the best are the best and the worst are the worst. And the 9 star has the 3 star wood flying in, and it's already weak. 3 stars already weak. So with going into the south with all that raging fire, it's super weak. It's almost like throwing a handful of sticks into a bonfire. It's barely even noticed, right? Its energy is sucked up. So we want to kind of look at making sure that, because it's the South, and the South is where we hold our reputation, our notoriety, that we aren't threatened by defamation, slander, or injurious gossip. And so the annual cure for the 9 star, which is future wealth, is to look at hanging a vision board of everything you want to manifest in 2022, having 9 purple silk flowers in a green vase, and having like 8 or 9 Chinese coins hung from a door if this is an entrance. And for May, I would say continue to use the color red and purple in the South. And let me just back up for a second. In the Southeast, for the month of May, I would put a blue rhino. This is another Feng Shui cure that you can find like at Feng Shui Mall. And the blue rhino should be placed in a prominent location, and that is to protect relationships. Okay. Also, another thing I would mention in the Southeast is I would not have fiery colors there for this month. I would shift more to blues. Okay. And that will help mitigate the wood metal conflict, just like we're seeing in the East, right? Okay. So the 2 star in the Southwest is the worst section. The Southwest, I really hope this isn't your bedroom or front door. And I would literally almost crawl through a window over using a door in the Southwest for the month of May especially. The 2 star, the 5 star are both earth stars. The Southwest is earth. This room should be dark, quiet, undisturbed, and God forbid there is any fire in the Southwest. And that can be a stove, that can be a furnace or a hot water heater. All right, so lots of cures. I've got all of this on the blog, so you can check it out. But let's just say that any color, any material, it should be metal, 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 round metal bowls. And if this is your kitchen, covering the stovetop with cookie sheets when it's not in use. Metal, metal, metal. All right, so we move to the West, and the West this year has the 7 star, which again, violence, surgery, backstabbing, gossip, lawsuits, slander, loss of income, loss of money. And then when you add the 1 star, is nurtured by the West and is a draining influence for the negative 7 stars. So it makes the West not so bad. And I would say with the 1 star to add some blue. I would add a little bit of blue to the West to encourage the 1 star, which does bring in some successes, and we could see some of that. The 6 stars in the northwest, and actually I was saying the north and northwest really, I think, are the best locations for the month of May. I know there's not many locations, and some months are like that, you know, and again, we're going with flow. This just is not the month when it's a month of real caution. I would just say that. And a month to be extra mindful in your day-to-day. So in the northwest, the 6 star is visited by the 9 star. And again, that's a clash because 9 is fire, 6 is metal. We want to mitigate with earth. Okay, so this is a great area for developing, planning, launching new projects because the 9 star is future wealth. The 6 star is wealth. So those two together really equal launch, go, build, dream. And so I would do lots of earth tones. Okay. Then we move to the north, where the 1 star is this year and the 4 star is visiting. This is a sweet combination. You still want to keep it calm and quiet because the 3 killings are in the north, but it is abundant for good fortune and money to flow in. Just keep the area calm and quiet. And you know, if Feng Shui teaches us anything, it is the importance of having your home be a sanctuary. It is not meant to be a loud, raucous place. It should be a kind of refuge, even if you have children. There's nothing wrong with children growing up in a quiet house. Put on some soft music, set the tone. Turn off the ceiling fans that agitate the air, agitate the energy. So, yeah, the north is a sweet spot. And for the 4 star coming in here, I would bring in some extra lush plants and the colors of green and blue. Okay. If you have questions about all of this, I am more than happy to answer. Feel free to reach out. I'm on nityaliving.com. The blog will be posted there so you can read a transcript of all of this. And if you are interested in a Feng Shui consultation, I travel to Maryland, Virginia, and North Carolina, and I am happy to do a Zoom call with you as well. That's it for now. Be well, and I'll see you soon.